Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to Unreal United States, places that don't seem real. Now my original plan was to react to a video that was Unreal Planet, places that don't seem real. So it's basically the same video but for the entire world, or the entire entirety of Earth. But it was a 2-hour plus video and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to react to a video that long. That's just too long, I'm not going to lie. But yeah, this is the next best thing, and maybe I'll do a reaction to that video in parts or whatever. But I do find this stuff pretty fascinating to see how sort of parts of the world have turned into these spectacles. Many parts of the world, right? But there's, I guess, some that are a lot less known, some that are more well known. Like for example, I don't know where this is, but this does look incredible. I don't know if it's even like a place that people visit, but it does look cool. But yeah, we're going to check this out. Hopefully you're going to enjoy. And if you've been to some of these places after we reacted to this and you have any opinions on it, I do hope they're like lesser known places, by the way, because obviously I've reacted to the more well-known places before. Yeah, if you've been to these places after I've done this reaction and they look familiar to where you've been, let me know how it really was there, because I'm assuming these places will all look pretty incredible. But yeah, we're going to check this out. Hopefully you're going to enjoy, and let's jump into this video.
With giant leaps forward in things like CGI and AI, we tend to look at things that are amazing on the internet with a little bit of skepticism. You see an incredible sunset of reds, oranges, and pinks, and you wonder how much photoshopping was done here, which, oddly enough, is what I always think whenever I see a picture of the Kardashians. In today's video, I'm going to show you some unbelievable places in the United States that actually exist. We won't be looking at the ones everybody knows, like the Grand Canyon, Old Faithful, or the Smoky Mountains. These are 10 that most people don't know about. Got it? Get it? Good. Let's take a look.
White Sands National Park.
Number 10, White Sands National Park. White Sands National Park down in southern New Mexico is like something out of a dream. This is a massive stretch of dazzling white gypsum sand dunes that covers about 275 square.
Holy shit, what the hell? I wonder what causes this. Is it an actual desert or what?
Miles, making it the biggest gypsum dune field on the planet. These dunes are seriously out of this world, and they've taken thousands of years to form. Basically, the wind did its thing, carrying away gypsum crystals from the nearby mountains and sculpting this ever-changing landscape.
Oh, wow.
But what's amazing about this place is not just these white dunes, it's the animals and the plants that have adapted to this area. Nothing should live here. If you go here, there's all kinds of fun stuff to do. One of my favorite things to do is actually you take a sandboard, which is similar to a snowboard, and you go down the dunes. It's a lot of fun. But if you want to take a hike through the sand dunes and you got a decent camera, this is a great spot to spend a weekend, or at least a day.
It'd be cool to like camp there or something, I'm not gonna lie. Mendenhall ice caves. Why did I struggle to say that so much?
Number 9, the Mendenhall Ice Caves. The Mendenhall Ice Caves up at the Mendenhall Glacier near Juneau, Alaska are like something out of a fairy tale. Been in here a couple times, it is insane. Taking a lot of Alaskan cruises, eventually if you do that, you end up in these ice caves.
So this is Glacier Bay.
Look at the fucking views around them.
Yeah, it's kind of cold. I don't know if you ever been near a glacier, but they're made of ice. And it's cold up here. I really underdressed for this one.
These insane ice caves are carved out by Mother Nature herself as the glacier does its slow dance of moving and melting. It's like she wants to make secret hideaways for all of us to go hang out in and, you know, see wonderful, enchanting blue colors and hope the ice doesn't give way and crush you to death in there. But when you go in here, I don't think cameras can do it justice. I know video cameras don't. You take a video camera in there and it's really not worth it. That's my opinion. But it's little low light. It just kind of glows blue. It is so cool. If you do take a cruise to Alaska, make sure this is one of your excursions you do. They have all kinds of companies that do it. Definitely check this one out.
Hoh Rainforest. We should jump to 5.
Number 8, the Hoh Rainforest. What? The Hoh Rainforest in Washington's Olympic National Park is a mesmerizing natural wonder that totally captivates anyone who sets foot here. Been here about 4 times. It is amazing. This rainforest is kind of unique. It's not the steamy tropical rainforest you'd expect or you've seen in movies. Instead, this thrives in the cooler, wetter climate, getting a mind-blowing 140 to 170 inches of rain a year. The forest is like something out of a Lord of the Rings book, with towering trees covered in moss that...
What sort of animals live in rainforests? Because obviously, like, you've got forests, you've got like jungles, and then rainforests. Is a rainforest sort of like an in-between of a jungle and a normal forest? Because I feel like jungles are very tropical, forests are Don't get me wrong, they're cool, but like forests are what you get in England. You don't get rainforests in England, to what I know. Like they're sort of the most basic sort of tree formation areas or whatever you want to call them. And obviously you still get like cool wildlife, but is this like an in-between of like a jungle and just a forest? I guess that is basically what it is, but what sort of animals do you get here? Is it just sort of the typical ones you'll get in like a normal forest, or I guess it's probably just an in-between. You probably get like frogs and stuff, maybe snakes, although it is in a region that I don't know if there is snakes there, but
that create this magical cathedral-like atmosphere. The ground is like a lush carpet of ferns, mosses, and old logs, and it's bursting with all kinds of paths and critters. Don't be surprised if you see things run across the path in front of you. Nothing there's really dangerous. Never heard of anyone getting attacked by anything other than other humans. Even though you're out in the wilderness, it's fairly safe. This one is a great place to take a nice walk or go for a serious hike. You can do it all here. It's a big area. This is another one that low light videography doesn't work that well, except on because it's always cloudy. So you got overcast, and then it's kind of dark in the bush there. So if you're using a GoPro or something like that, it's going to get all pixelated.
Is that
Unless
real?
you're on a
this is the sort of image you think is photoshopped.
rare day where it's nice and sunny and you got a lot of light coming in, then great. But if you can get a good camera to come up here, or a lot of cell phones now work better than the GoPros, do that.
Portland Japanese Garden.
Number 7, Portland's Japanese Garden. The Portland Japanese Garden, right in the heart of Oregon's bustling city. That's what it says on the website. They're really on the edge of it, above all the nonsense. But it is like a tranquil oasis that just calls you to come and experience this serene beauty. The garden is a perfect blend of Japanese landscaping ideas and elements of the Pacific Northwest, creating a one-of-a-kind and totally captivating experience. As you stroll along the winding paths, you'll find yourself surrounded by lush greenery and koi ponds, and of course towering maple trees.
Oh,
They're everywhere.
wow.
There's also those really cool Japanese stone lanterns. You won't find better landscaping just about anywhere. I mean, you go to Disneyland or something like that, and they just have amazing landscape. You know, they have a whole cruise of 100 people doing landscape at Disneyland. This is better. Honestly, where art meets nature.
Molokini Crater.
Number 6,
Hawaii.
the Molokini Crater off the coast of Maui in Hawaii. This place is seriously cool. It's this volcano-shaped thing that took forever to form, and now it's like this half-submerged island. The way it's shaped makes it an awesome place to spot all kinds of sea creatures, so it's a big hit with all the folks that like to snorkel and dive. The water here is so clear that you can see everything. Just floating on the top with your snorkel and your mask, you could see plenty. But if you want to dive and go lower, even better. The Molokini Crater is basically an underwater paradise with tons of cool stuff to see, and it's a must visit if you're into nature and you're in Maui. Now here's the thing about going out there. There's a couple different boats and tours you could take. Actually, there's dozens of them. Some of the boats are a lot slower. If you take one of those little fast rafts, you could be out there in like 20 minutes. If you take
Is there ever like shark attacks in these sorts of areas? I assume there would be, right? But I don't really know.
one of the other ones, it's like a 50-minute ride out there. A little more luxurious that way. But it's usually like a 2-hour tour. So if you're taking 45 minutes out and 45 minutes back, you don't have that much time. They do have longer ones, but I think 2 hours is good enough. If you do go there and you're taking a tour, make sure you ask them to go to the elevator, which is on the back side of it, and where the water goes up against the rocks, it doesn't go into the rocks, it rises. So you're on this elevator thing. It's really, really fun.
Castello di Amorosa.
Number 5, Castello di Amorosa. I hope I pronounced that right. I've been there before many years, but it's a really cool castle in the middle of...
Castles? Damn, I wasn't really expecting to see castles in this list, for sure.
the Napa Valley and all the wine country. This is a jaw-dropping...
This looks like it's in Italy. This image is awesome, by the way. Look at like the mountain range in the background. You got these. This reminds me of like wine distilleries or whatever. I don't know, like what, like where they grow grapes or something for wine, but I don't actually know what it is.
Castle that whisks you away to a different era. The place is the brainchild of a wine enthusiast that had a deep love for medieval architecture. The castle itself is not this fake thing, you know, it's not just plaster made to look like it's real stone. They really built this thing. You look at the doors on the place and
I'll go back, I want to see this.
the castle itself is not this fake thing, you know, it's not just plaster made to look like it's real stone. They really built this thing. You look at the doors on the place and it's like thick wood. One person told me it was brought out there from Italy and they only used handmade nails to put things together here. I don't know if that's...
Is that the Albanian flag? This is the US. This looks so European, like Italian. I'm so confused.
For the whole place, but it's definitely for the doors. My suggestion is go here in the summer or spring. When it's winter and it's all gray, it's kind of nasty. But the Napa Valley is beautiful, and then they got this castle there. It's amazing.
This place, that is one of the most fascinating places I've seen in the US. I was not expecting that at all. Antelope Canyon.
Number 4, Antelope Canyon, Arizona. Antelope Canyon is nestled within the Navajo Nation in northern Arizona. This is an extraordinary geological masterpiece shaped over centuries by relentless forces of water and wind. This is made up of 2 distinct sections, the Upper Antelope Canyon and the Lower Antelope Canyon. Each offers a unique jaw-dropping experience. The Upper Antelope Canyon is renowned for its sunlit beams penetrating through the narrow passages. I'm sure you've seen a picture or two. Probably didn't know what it was, but it looks like a wonderland. Like, I don't know, it's just amazing. The summer months, again, is the best way to go here, especially if you're into photography. You know, that's where you're going to get the best shots of the sunlight coming through the little narrow gaps. The smooth walls of the canyon come alive with vibrant colors ranging from rich reds to soft purples, creating a surreal and captivating ambiance for visitors. On the other hand, the Lower Antelope Canyon, while less frequented, is equally as enchanting, with a labyrinth of paths leading to chambers adorned with remarkable natural hues. Though the light beams here are less common, it's really not as big a thing there, it's still breathtaking. Both sections of Antelope Canyon offer photography enthusiasts a dream day, dream weekend, whatever you want to do. Now, it's also important to know that these canyons hold cultural significance to the Navajo people, and visitors are encouraged to show the utmost respect for both the environment and the cultural heritage of these areas.
Damn. The Palouse?
The Palouse. The Palouse is this grassland, farmland area in the Pacific Northwest.
See, this looks like the sort of background you'd have on your Windows desktop. What the hell? Is this where Teletubbies was set? This is so wild.
West, mainly spreading its charm across parts of Washington and Idaho. It is famous for its rolling hills that seem to go on forever, covered in lush green wheat, barley, and lentil fields.
That's a really cool picture, man. There's just such a wide variety. I mean, the more reactions I do, the more I realise there's just even more to see. I don't think I've ever seen any of these places mentioned before, and I've done videos reacting to like the 50 best places to visit in the US. There's just so many places to go.
It's like something out of a dream. And no wonder this is a hot spot for photographers and nature buffs. What makes the Palouse even cooler is that the wild geological history of the place. It's shaped by ancient floods and a little volcanic action. They used to think it was all because of the Cascade Mountains and the volcanoes there. But then after years of research, they realized that the Canadian glaciers actually pushed all this silt down to this area. This is some of the most fertile land on the planet. In 100 years, they haven't had a failed crop. Number 2, the Oneonta Gorge. The Oneonta Gorge, which I've heard called several different things, but we're going with Oneonta, is a hidden gem in the stunning Columbia River Gorge of Oregon. It's not too far from Portland. It is this super cool, lush, and kind of narrow canyon that'll blow your mind if you're into nature stuff. To get to the heart of the gorge, you've got to wade through the chilly waters.
This looks like it's from like The Hobbit or something.
Waters of the Oneonta Creek. If you have mobility issues, I would scratch this one off your to-do list. It can get a little rough, especially if you're not there in the dead of summer. The water gets a little high, it's cold, and it's rocky creek you're walking through. But the payoff is worth it if you could make it. They have some of the greatest waterfalls on the planet in this area of the Columbia River Gorge, but when you get to the end of this one, it is amazing. There's epic waterfalls that are just tumbling down from above, making this part of the gorge even more mystical and awesome. All right, before we get to number 1,
come on, let's get it.
Slay.
What? Ashley Pa, Wilderness and Bisti Badlands Dinazin. What am I seeing?
And number 1, the Ashi Slay Pa Wilderness. The Ashi Slay Pa Wilderness out in northwestern New Mexico is seriously something else. I mean, besides the name and how hard it is to pronounce, and I probably butchered it, this place is beautiful. It's like stepping into a science fiction movie.
God damn.
Now, besides Ashley Slay Pa, they have the Bisti and the Denazian, which I'm sure I butchered those names, but they're all this like badland area in the Valley of Dreams in New Mexico. You could hike to each one if you want. But Ashley Slay Pa has a trailhead right there, and it's the easiest one to get to from the road. The whole area is amazing.
This sort of place, what's the film, the space film that I've watched about a year ago? Is it called June? It looks like this. This is the sort of place that'd film like movies that are set on another planet and stuff, because it does look out of this world.
Picture this. Wild badlands that'll blow your mind, and all these crazy rocks in every color that geology has to offer. These weird geological sculptures have been here for a very long time, being eaten away from sheer rock by wind and sand. Now, Ashi Slay Pa comes from Navajo, and it means gray salt, which totally fits because these are shale formations. And they do have this eerie gray-blue shade. If you're up for it, you could go on some epic hikes and explore this ancient terrain that's been around for millions of years. It's like a sneak peek into the Earth's history books, courtesy of Mother Nature herself. If you like to be outdoors and you're an adventure junkie, this is a great hike and something really cool to see.
Does look cool, I'm not gonna lie. There's just so many new places that I've never seen before. I do really enjoy these videos. If you've been to these places, like I said at the start, let me know if they lived up to your expectations, or they surprised you with how beautiful they actually were. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Until next time, I subscribe. Peace.